I was in another membership, and people were talking about it in the membership. Whenever someone came across money mindset, they were like, oh, you should look at Denise's work. She's the expert on money mindset. And so I went, who's Denise? So I was dating an economist who has very, very traditionally good money mindset. I did not have very good money mindset, did not have savings, kind of always, so in SMA, my top one is a connector, so always really just believed that it will take care of itself, and it doesn't. So dating him, and he also has 2 children from a previous relationship. I sat with it and I was like, I don't, he's already got so much on his plate. I don't want him to have another thing on his plate. I didn't want to be a thing. I was fine on my own. I could sort things out. And I was getting to a point of going, the way I was doing money is not going to get me to where I want to be in retirement, which is coming up sooner than I anticipated. So on the basis of that, I really wanted to understand what was happening for me regarding money, and to do it in a way that felt comfortable for me. I'd spoken to lots of financial advisors, they just freaked me out, and I was like, there has to be another way. This is not rocket science, it just has to be another way. So I then decided that I needed to look at my business. I also didn't want to work as a psychologist. You're basically working like per hour, and people are seeing 40 clients a week, and I'm like, that never worked for me. And I didn't always practice as a psychologist. So I was relooking what I could do and how I could do it in terms of my business, and what the possibilities are, looking at passive income, looking at charging more for my services, looking at saving. So that's where I was, and that was my motivation, like that whole combination. So I went seeking and found Denise. So psychologists have really bad money mindset. And I've been doing on my journey, I've always like spoken to people and then about my journey, and people have been seeing what I've been doing. So I had colleagues kind of go like, can you do something for us? And I was like, sure. You pay me though, but yes. So there's a few things. One is a scarcity mindset. The other one is around wanting to help without charging, and then a real value and a strong value around really making a difference. And so it was kind of like, and I personally, not related to psychology, because I also come from a developmental background, and living in apartheid South Africa, growing up in apartheid South Africa, there's a whole bunch of things in that too. And so there has to be a way that, you can't rely on government, especially in a developing country, because there's so many things. But there has to be a way that you can make money, grow money, and then make a difference in the world. And whether that is still doing some pro bono work or still having a sliding scale or something, but there is a way that you can do it all. So for me, I'm really wanting to concentrate on, I need money for my retirement because that's creeping up. And then also for me, like making money, keeping money, and then creating ways to help other people, but put the oxygen mask on yourself first. And so psychologists have a lot of I want to help and then feel really bad about charging. And then we've got all these governing bodies that kind of just keep that stuck too. No, I had no fears, no hesitations. I think I was so determined to, like, I really had a vision, and I really knew why I was doing what I was doing. So I had absolutely, so there were a few things that were really expensive, because if you convert dollars to South African rands, they're really expensive. And I just jumped in there, and yes, I had no fears. So I'm still shifting into really what I'm wanting to do, but it's becoming more and more clear to me. I look at all the people who quantum leap or put all of this stuff, and I also know that's partly breadcrumbing. And I, and I kind of go like, oh, it's not that far. That's not that fast for me. And I was like, you know what? It takes time, and it's fine. Like I know where I'm heading. So I think the biggest thing for me is, and actually I was in a coaching call last night, and I spoke about it in the call because I was like, guys, I'm having a moment. It's partly the energetic income that I find really, really helpful, and the understanding of energetic income and knowing, oh, okay, that's what's happening. And then also normalizing, like I think a byproduct of money, sorry, this is my alarm. So a byproduct of Money Bootcamp is self-trust, and developing, you just develop self-trust. And the energetic income, gives you an understanding, gave me an understanding of what was happening, and that it wasn't me. It wasn't like I was just not bad. I wasn't bad at this. It was just, oh, that's what's happening. And then what's also helped is like just like normalizing that sometimes when you're making more money, you're going to have a backlog of things that you might have to pay. And so you might not see it immediately. And you've got to remind yourself that actually, I got that. Like I've made that. And for me to do a lot of reassurance around that. Because there'll be a backlog of things that you might have to do. You might have to go to a doctor, or you might have to pay some bills, or you might have to, buy things that you're kind of going, okay, I really need that. And that's okay. So a lot of it for me is just normalizing that this is a journey, and keep going, and just be mindful as you're doing that, and do it with mindfulness. Denise is honest, she's sincere, she is present. I love that she's inclusive, and she has a real awareness that there are real social injustices and institutionalized injustices that exist in the world. And she doesn't try to brush them over, as a lot of other people do. And it's very comforting for a person of color to have that recognized, because it really does go unrecognized in so many spaces from experts. And so I find her real, honest, and she shows up. She's human. She's someone that you could probably bump into at a coffee shop, and you wouldn't should be having a cup of coffee or tea or whatever she drinks. And yeah, she's real, and she gives you a belief that it's possible for you too. So bootcamp is busy, active, loud, overwhelming, and it's very easy when you're first joining to feel lost, to feel like who's going to listen to me? Like, all these people sound so successful. And I think that a lot of the people who are struggling are quieter in the group. And so when you enter, don't be put off by that. I know I kind of just went quiet, just even didn't do the course. I didn't do anything because it was so overwhelming. The group was so overwhelming. And so it's important not to get put off by that, and to just do the course, do the work. Even if you're not active in the group, or you just switch off the notifications, you don't even go into the group, go through the course, listen to the call, whether you can listen to it live or recording. And then when you feel like you are getting stuck, or you feel like it would be really nice if you knew that someone else had the same experience, to go in the group and be vulnerable. You don't always find that in the group. You don't always find people. You'd find lots of people sharing all their successes. And that's probably strategic, but know that there are enough people in the group who, if you share your vulnerabilities, they will, and share where you're getting stuck, you will be held. And then one day you'll be the person posting the win. Can't say I have a favorite part. Like, I really just like Denise. I just like the way she normalizes so much. And so it's that, I mean, to be honest, and this I think people starting bootcamp might also need to hear, I haven't completed the whole course. I have not done the whole thing. I certainly haven't listened to all the wonderful bonuses that are there. I know they're there. But it's kind of like, oh, okay, I'm stuck with that. Oh, right. Let me just have a look at what I like that, or let me just think through that, or, but I haven't. And I don't think you need to. Like, you don't need to go through everything in the course in any specific order. But if you're aware of it and kind of go, actually, I want to spend a little bit of time on this, you can. And things will still shift. So if you are wanting to grow your money, and whether that's in your business or your career, then I would say you have no option but to do the course, because you're going to be thinking about your business, you're going to be thinking about your money, you're going to be thinking about, whether your reason why, whether it's your family, or whether it's, for me, my retirement. You're going to be thinking about it every single day. So do you want to just spend all that time thinking about it, or do you want to have some tools that you can learn and do on your school run, or, like for me, in between clients, or when you're going to bed? So don't let your busyness get in the way. Just remember what your goal is and why, and know that you don't even have to do it every single day. You don't even have to set time out for it, a chunk of time. Listen to it when you can, learn how to do the tapping, learn generally what the different pieces are. It'll carry on working with you in any case. It'll work you rather than you working it. I have put out 2 courses since doing Money Bootcamp. I am in the middle of, not in the middle, I'm going to be putting out my 3rd pre-recorded holiday goal setting course that I will initially sell for a little and then sell for a lot. I had my biggest income month. Sure, I spent all that money because I have backlogs, and because I was going through a breakup and I needed to do it. And I was very grateful that I had the money to do it, as opposed to I need to go into overdraft or I need to use my credit card. I didn't have to do that. I had the cash that I needed. So I had my biggest earning month in August. And then my third win is I started feeling like I've had my first 2 properly international clients paying me in dollars. It's come up now with my goal setting course. The previous course that I set up, I had a lot of local people on it, and it was marketed to psychologists, local psychologists. And so when I'm doing the goal setting one, I'm not going to post it in the same groups because it's a different thing. And so what came up for me was, is anyone going to buy it? Like, I know what it's going to be. I know it's going to be amazing. I know it's going to shift people's lives, but I've also have put things out there no one has bought. And, you know, it's kind of like going into a little bit of a panic around that, around the financial panic, around, it's our big summer holidays in December, Jan. It's the equivalent to August, like the States, August. So a lot of stuff came up with that, and I just went paralyzed. I just went, oops, withdrawn, not posting anything on my social media, not posting. And then I was like, what is going on? And then it's just, okay, let's think through some of that. And then just slowly starting to tap through it, slowly starting to understand the negative consequences and all of that. I think for me was also really interesting is like the concepts that Denise shares. I mean, are things that like in my psychology practice, like I use all the time, and I never thought of applying it to, oh, you can apply that to money. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, so so just working through the stuff that's coming up for me now as I have had these wins, and now it's kind of like, are they just random, or is it because, oh, I marketed to South African clients, so will I be able to do the next thing? And just working through that. So if we don't work on money and we don't understand how to love ourselves and how to love others, the world's going to collapse. So let's make the world go round. So I know that I want a 7-figure business. And so 2023 is really about moving more into the international market and moving into the awareness of seeing and knowing that I'm on the road. You know, I don't have a money goal yet for 2023 because I'm not quite sure how to do that and how to, but I know the longer term goal. And so 2023 is about making sure I'm on the right road.
If you're looking for expert training on money mindset, a supportive community, and mentoring to work on your money stories, I invite you to come work with us in Money Bootcamp. Our community is growing every day, and when empowered people come together and take control of our financial destiny, we really can change lives. Come and join us on this journey. Just click below, take a deep breath, and enroll in Money Bootcamp today. You'll get our amazing money mindset training, ongoing mentoring, and access to our beautiful, inspiring community. So then you can have the encouragement and accountability to make a breakthrough with your money. And you'll get support from all of our experienced mentors and live group coaching calls with me every single month. We will be with you every step of the way to help you create more abundance with less stress. So click below, take a deep breath, and just hit join on your registration. Make this investment in your dreams and get started now so you can release your money blocks, increase your income, and surround yourself with amazing people invested in your success. I'll see you in Money Bootcamp. It's your time and you're ready for the next step.